John and Horace Dodge launched their first car in 1914. But they were not only business partners, they were brothers. Competitive, stubborn, and always pushing each other the way only brothers can. 100 years later, their spirit lives on.
What's happening, guys? Coast to Coast Studios. I'm your host for Behind the Grams, where we jump into some of the stories, the motivations, and inspirations behind us creators, entrepreneurs, and in this case, actors coming up in the industry here in Los Angeles and really anywhere. Tonight we have Joe Coffey. He's an actor here in Los Angeles. Let's just jump into it and introduce yourself.
Come on, baby, Joe Coffey. Yo, do you spell your last name the same way that they serve the drinks? Yeah, it's C-O-F-F-E-Y. It's a little different.
There you go.
Yeah.
A little different.
Kind of like John Coffey from the Green Mile.
Yeah.
It's like the drink, only not spelled the same.
Exactly. Exactly. It's memorable though. Joe Coffey.
It is. Yeah.
Easy to remember, easy to run on.
It's synonymous too, the first name and the last name. Cup of Joe, Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Did your parents kind of plan that out, or?
My grandfather, I think, had a sense of humor, because my dad's name's Joe too, so yeah.
Nice, heck yeah. So,
it's a family joke.
we actually met on the red carpet of a National Geographic premiere for Genius.
Yes, that was crazy.
Let's explain that. How'd that go?
I shouldn't have even been at that red carpet.
No, neither should I. That's
Boston boys just kind of sneaked
Oh,
in.
and we both happen to be from Boston, so that's like, it's a small world.
Yeah.
What were you doing there that night?
My friend who works for Nat Geo was like, hey, do you want to come to this last minute? And she got me on the guest list. You know, like Boston boys would do, just kind of like...
Go with the flow. Take every opportunity.
Yeah, go somewhere we don't belong.
Yeah, exactly.
We just try to fit in, and we don't. We stick out like sore thumbs.
Hey, no, I didn't know. I was paparazzi at that event, so I went on Craigslist earlier that day, and I'm always on there on gigs, and they were like, "Would you like to go shoot this?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" I went up there, shot it, and I'm a portrait photographer, you know, so when it comes to photography and I was like telling you a little bit how to pose, and I don't think paparazzi really ever do that.
Yeah, no.
They're just shooting. Hey, you know.
I appreciated it.
Drop your shoulder a little bit. You were like, oh, here we go.
Well, that's another thing too. Like I snuck on that red carpet. Like she kind of like coaxed me in there, because like I wasn't supposed to be there at all. I mean, it was people who were on the show, and I wasn't on the show. I was just like whatever. But you know, I had this this suit that probably didn't fit me. It was kind of old.
That looked good.
Yeah, no, but
like
I appreciate
light blue
you
or
coaching
something?
me. Yeah. I had the light blue tie and everything. You know.
I remember that.
But no, it was cool that you did that, you know, and then we became buds. So
Totally.
yeah.
I was like, you approached me. I was stoked because I didn't know who you were, and I thought you were an actor on the show.
Yeah, see, I got you fooled, bro.
You were like, hey, can I get your business card? I was like, ooh. All the other photographers were like, what?
I remember you hit me up later too. Like you hit me up a few weeks later, and you were like,
let's
shoot together or whatever. But you were like, hey, I saw Ron Howard was at the red carpet. Are you friends with him? Are you tight with him? Whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I wish. I wish. That's funny. I ended up meeting Ron Howard that night.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I snuck into the after party.
Yeah.
And I ended up, he's got like this roped off area where he's chilling.
Yeah, I bet.
And he got out of there for a second, and I was so persistent. I wish I had this show, because I'm just gonna go up to people like that and be like, what's happening, guys? Coast to Coast Studios, your host for Behind the Grams. Can I ask you a couple questions? You know, they're not gonna say no.
Right.
And then boom, there's Ron Howard on an episode. Don't do that, please. Yeah, let's jump into your story. Like, you're an actor.
Yep.
Right? So, where are you from originally? How did you get to Los Angeles? Like a little bit of your story behind the gram.
Yeah, dude. I'm from West Roxbury, which is a neighborhood of Boston. It's like mostly Irish people. I grew up in a area that was pretty tight knit. You know, everybody knew each other and everything. You know, Donnie's father's a firefighter.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Small town. His
dad was a grandfather, firefighter. Yeah, so everybody like knew each other and everything, and knew each other's business. The core pub up the street from me, that was a place where we'd all like hang out and stuff, and it was cool because we all just kind of looked out for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And took care of each other, which was great. And I love that about my hometown.
Yeah.
But it was cool too, like when I'd go to the pub, there were like a lot of Irish people there, so you'd hear the accents being thrown around and stuff, and then people would be speaking in Gaelic. It's like, oh, what's that about, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just...
Did you start imitating those?
Yeah, dude, I mean, oh yeah, the tip of the lips, the tongue, the teeth, the palate.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of what
the Kerry
is
accent.
the roots of your acting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like
I definitely try to
go
go
around that.
Yeah, definitely try to market myself as like, you know, that Boston Irish ginger guy.
Totally.
So
you're that guy, so play on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, that's important. You come out to Hollywood and you try to distinguish yourself. And I've tried to move forward with that, and
it's panning out. So now you're in Hollywood. What are you doing these days? What's your background like? Before we jump into your present day, what have you done in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I started out in theater back home in Boston, you know, and really got into like public declamation and everything in high school. So my high school had these competitions where you would memorize a speech, you know, either something that a president or somebody gave, or, you know, you could even take an excerpt from a novel or whatever. Like I did something from Les Miserables once. I did Casey at the Bat, which is kind of like a, historic American baseball poem.
Nice.
American classic kind of thing. And from there, like I just fell in love with the stage. And I like being
so
up
you
there
had to
performing.
take a little story and reenact it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
And then, you know, take on characters and stuff. And my parents, I think, were helping that I went a different route with that.
Yeah.
You know, like public speaking and
For
stuff.
sure.
And then I was like, you know, I freaking love acting.
Yeah.
You know, I want to continue to do this.
Exactly.
See how far I can get with it, you know? So I kept going in college. And then after college, I was like, I want to get more serious about my training, so I started to look at some grad schools. I got a scholarship to the University of Florida.
Nice.
I went down there, and I just studied the classics, got into some David Mamet, Sam Shepard, and just got more and more training under my belt.
Heck yeah.
Started to dabble in the market in the Southeast for a bit after grad school, and I started booking, man. I just started booking indie films and commercials. Awesome. One of my favorite commercials is a spot I did with David Ortiz, Big Papi, and all my boys back home freaking loved that spot. And
Heck yeah. What was it for?
That was a lot of fun. It's for Majestic jerseys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that. I think you said that.
Yeah.
And
just being a Red Sox fan my whole life, it's just epic to work with him. I mean, I spent like 12 hours on set with Big Papi, you know, and in the spot, I actually have to carry him the entire time. So he was at the time like 260 pounds, like, you know, he's 6'4" or whatever.
Yeah, you worked that day.
Yeah, dude, I had to get ready for that shoot for sure.
We're your hero. Anytime, anyplace, anywhere with Majestic Jersey.
Heck yeah.
But it was crazy because they had me in a gray t-shirt, and we shot it in Miami because he was in spring training at the time. It was like, you know, summertime. And he just freaking was so heavy, dude. He's like there on my back. And, you know, they had certain ways of cheating in movie magic, which I won't disclose.
For sure.
But the times where I actually did have to carry him, dude, I was just perspiring through these t-shirts. So they gave me great t-shirt after great t-shirt. They had the sweat pads I had to wear in my armpits. But yeah, that was a really fun time, and it just confirmed, you know, I really love being on set.
You learned from that, I'm sure.
No, totally, yeah.
That's awesome.
That was really cool. Did another spot. I got a lot of flack for this with Derek Jeter.
Oh man,
Gillette
that
commercial.
Must have been fun,
yeah. So, I still get flack for that from my boys to this day, but yeah, man. And then after a while being on the East Coast, you know, I talked to my agent, talked to a mentor at the time, and they said, you know, I think you should go to a bigger pond.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Exactly.
I want to go out to LA.
Yeah, this is the place. If you're an actor or anything content creator, this is where you need to be.
Yeah.
Either this for acting, definitely. New York's definitely big, but this has got to be for acting.
Yeah.
This is a place where you're gonna grow and flourish to your full potential.
For sure. And I would say like the market in Atlanta, as you know, because of those tax incentives, is really good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd say, you know, if you're an actor and you're serious about your craft and you want to continue with it, look at the crickets starting up.
Yeah, I told you about that.
Tell me
Man.
about the crickets.
That
Wait,
was
so
bad.
claps. See if it happens.
No.
You got him to shut up. His attention was like, what the balls was that?
So, what were you nervous a little bit to move here to LA at the beginning?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it's just when people think LA, it's like this daunting place.
Yeah.
And, they think about the grind and the struggle. And specifically August of 2014, they were casting for a Dodge campaign, and they were looking for the Dodge brothers.
Yep.
The two guys that started the company back in 1914, were two redheads, John and Horace Dodge. And so my agent sent me out, and I was like, oh, this is cool, you know, period piece, like really interesting. And I just went in there and did my thing. Next thing I know, I get a call back.
Yeah.
And they like me in that, and I get another call back. And they like me in that, and I get called in again, and they want to see me do one more thing. And man, it was a crazy process, but I eventually booked it along with this other guy from Chatsworth. His name is Tyler Bryan. He's a solid dude, and we've become buds since. And that campaign's been running for about 4 years now.
Really?
Yeah, man. So
That's awesome.
it's incredible. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So I've been having a lot of fun.
Definitely pays off there.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
amazing.
Well, there they are, our founding fathers. And that thing behind them, that's their great, 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 great grandson.
We all have that thing inside. You can keep it chained, but I say smash the lock and set it free. That's a brotherhood of muscle.
Now if you can get 100 of those.
Yeah. Hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah, absolutely. No, shoot for the stars, man. What would you say motivates you? What's your biggest motivation just to keep hustling and pushing towards those dreams every day?
Yeah, I love acting. And honestly, like I think God has put me in LA for a reason. Back in 2010, if I'm just speaking completely frankly, I surrendered my life to Christ. I was broken. I still am, dude. I screw up all the time. But before I knew the Lord, like I was in a really dark place. I was drinking way too much, partying, and into drugs. And I remember I got a DUI one night, and I was like, "What is going on?" I spent the night in jail. I was like, "My life is
Had
just
some time
not,
to think.
Yeah, not where I thought it was going to be."
Totally.
You know? And I cried out to God. I was real with him, and that's what I think he wants. He wants a relationship with us.
Totally.
You know? He doesn't want us to like, you know, just bullshit with him. He wants us to get real.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
I was like, God, I need your help. And yeah, man, and he came into my life and just transformed me, and he saved me.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I was going down this really dark path, you know. I thought I was the shit. I thought I was a big shot.
Yeah.
And
You had a wake up call.
I got humbled, man.
Heck yeah. That's sometimes what it takes is just hitting the bottom to realize your potential and what you're worth, you know? Totally.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was the next one? Let's see, I fell asleep. Okay, here we go. What would you say is one of your biggest failures? And for me, failures are like the time where we learn the most.
Yeah.
You know, so what would you say is one of your biggest failures? Either in life or in acting, or
Yeah.
what kind of shaped you into the person that you are today?
Yeah. The night that I just completely acted like an ass and did something to one of my close friends, and when I had to face up and like man up and like go tell him what I did,
Yeah.
The hurt in his eyes
Yeah.
made me feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like I was just the lowest of the low.
Totally.
And I was like, I never want to put someone through that, and especially one of my friends, and hurt somebody like that again.
Yeah.
Like something needs to change in my life.
Yeah.
You know,
So that was kind of the turning point. And what did you?
that was a big one.
What do you feel you learned from that?
To be kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
To treat everyone with respect, and I mean everyone. Not, you know, I can catch myself with this too. You know, you see someone in a certain position, and you're like, what can I gain from knowing this person, or, you know, working with this person? How can I help? You know, I get selfish and I'm like, how can I help my career?
Yeah.
You know, in this situation, when it's like, no, you treat that person the same as you do the person I just walked by with the homeless person,
Yeah.
with, you know, the stuff in the grocery cart.
Yeah.
You know, as I was walking by from the cafe, you know, with my freaking fancy coffee.
Yeah.
You know, you treat those people the same because they're human beings.
Totally.
you know?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
That's one thing that you messed up, but you learned that valuable lesson off that.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though we have failures and downtimes, they're there to teach us.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt and move forward and learn your lesson.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Heck yeah. What are some of your short-term goals? Let's say from now till the end of 2018. What do you want to happen?
I'd love this Dodge Brothers campaign to continue, man. You know, by God's grace, it continues. It's a really fun thing. I love being on set with Tyler. He's become one of my closest friends out here in LA.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have just been doing a series.
Yeah.
That's
it
awesome.
just continues to go, man.
Have you heard anything new or recent that maybe there's another?
We haven't heard anything in terms of getting us on set to shoot more commercials, but we do in-person like car shows and car
Yeah.
auctions and stuff
Heck
too.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Because I
fun.
know your face by now, people
Yeah.
that are familiar with the Dodge campaign.
Yeah, and it's cool, man. Like Dodge has a really tight-knit community too, and I love that aspect of it. They've this sounds like such a pitch for Dodge, but it's true. I mean, they've defined themselves as different than the other car manufacturers.
Yeah.
They're different than GMC. They're different from Chevy. Why are they different? They're edgier. You know, they got that muscle, like brotherhood of muscle. That's
Yeah.
the expression. You know?
Absolutely.
Domestic, not domesticated. Like, what's up? You know, in your face. Like,
Did you own a Dodge before you started that Dodge commercial?
I owned a Ford Ranger.
There you go.
But I own a Dodge now.
There you
I
go.
own a Dodge
I know.
Ram now, and it's an awesome.
Did you get a good deal on it?
I
Come on, man. Like, come on, give me a good deal. That's
no, it's a great truck, man.
There you go.
And,
Heck yeah.
yeah, I'm happy to have it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful truck. Looks
Yeah.
great. What would you say your style is? Let's jump back a little bit. Your style as an actor.
I was just talking to my roommate about this last night because I was in a workshop with this girl, and she was from Brooklyn and I'm from Boston, and we happened to get thrown into this relationship, like domestic drama scene together. The
Yeah.
casting director was like, it was a cold read, and she was like, you know, do this. So we jumped in, and it was on fire, man.
Yeah.
Like, it felt so good. And I love moments like that where it's like, you know what? This is why I'm in it. Because it became real.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't just looking at that actress, Natalie was her name. I was looking at my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I was,
true, yeah.
and she fed me this line, and she was like, "Oh, you're jealous of me because I'm more successful than you?" And I was looking away at the time, and there was just something in the emphasis of how she said it to me. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You think you're more successful than me? Look at you. You don't look very successful right now, you know." And but like
Yeah.
at 10,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna go there right now.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just exciting, bro.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and it just couldn't.
We'll lay over some of your acting reel. I'll have you send
Cool.
me some of your acting reel.
Yeah.
And I'll lay it in the video right now.
We're the same.
No, we're not. You put ketchup, relish, and one jalapeno. And I like mustard and some other stuff.
But we're the same.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
We're not the same, man.
We're the same.
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
What's the only thing more fun than the Transitions Championship?
Nothing.
I'm not sure what this nothing thing is, but there's no way it's more fun than this.
It was the snowed-in family that had run out of fun till Dad trekked through the snow for
The new Xbox One.
Gaming, movies, music, live TV, all on one device.
Hey, can I get in on that? It looks nice.
Great gifts like the Xbox One at your Ultimate Holiday Showroom. Best Buy.
What does Rocket Balls do for you?
Well, it gives the guys at SportsCenter something to talk about.
Whoa. Special isn't special anymore. We're not 1 in a million. We're 1 out of billions. We're not all unique little snowflakes falling from the sky one by one. Sure, some of us get to be little rays of sunshine. But most of us, we're just little drops of rain.
Cool. So, if you could say one thing to an actor that's maybe moving here to LA, that's chasing their passion, what would you say to kind of motivate them and inspire them?
Act.
Act.
Do it.
Every day.
Just get in it. Do student films. Do stuff with your friends. Create your own content and put yourself in it. The more you do it, the more you flex your muscles, the more you're on set, the more you're gonna learn, and the better you're gonna become.
Straight up?
Straight up, bro.
Straight up. Love that.
Yeah, dude.
Heck yeah. I've started asking all of the people that I interviewed this question, and that is, what is the meaning of life to you?
Not to sound religious, because I don't consider myself a religious person. I have a relationship with Christ, and I think that's what it's all about. So, putting God first,
Totally.
and seeing how He's going to use you in your given circumstances.
Yeah.
I think it's about His glory, man.
Absolutely.
Day by day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Joe, thanks for coming on Behind the Grams and just telling me your story.
You got it.
Heck yeah. Again, my name's Coast to Coast Studios. I'm your host for Behind the Grams, where we jump into some of the stories, the motivations, and inspirations behind, in this case, actor Joe Coffey and his drive towards his, your dreams. I love that you're out here chasing it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
really
you, bro.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.